And it's not just about the sport of basketball. A lot of time in working with the students and working with parents to ensure that they understand what the mechanics of the game is all about and what life is all about. So without further ado, I want to take this time to bring up everybody who needs no introduction, Coach Danny Cross.
So first, I just want to say good evening to all. Good evening. I'm very, very happy to be a part of our 4th annual scholarship awards. Just to honor and celebrate youth, and in this case, I call them my kids, just for a little while, just for a season, and honoring and celebrating their academic and athletic achievements. So first, I want to give you guys a round of applause, so we're going to give them a round of applause. So they're coming as far, and I'll make introductions later to our youth. They're coming as far as Tallahassee, Gainesville, Ocala, here in Orlando. So sports, basketball reaches all over the world, and in this case, it has allowed me to touch the lives of, hello God, touch the lives of youth in some ways that many mentors and coaches have touched the lives of myself, which has allowed me to found an organization, a foundation called Athlete Connections Foundation, where we utilize sports to teach youth life skills. So I'm very proud and very blessed to surround myself with board members that are truly awesome, that have helped put this together. So all of our board members, if you don't mind, just please stand and just to recognize yourself. I would greatly appreciate that. Tracy Bloom, Lance, please raise your hand. Dennis Carroll, Keith Allo, please raise your hand. Tommy McCoy, Black, please raise your hand. Christina Reddick, please raise your hand. Andy, please raise your hand. Melanie, please raise your hand. I'm having a hard time. Melanie in the back, please raise your hand. And I'm listening to our board chair, Scott Petrolo. Please raise your hand. So this time comes my senior year of basketball, which allows me to surround myself with very smart individuals, business professionals that allow us as a team, as a foundation, to put on some pretty amazing events. I'm looking for Commissioner Regina Hill, which is right in front of me. So can you please stand, please, just so we can honor and celebrate Commissioner Regina Hill. We'll give her, Commissioner, the opportunity to speak a little bit later, but if it was not for Commissioner Regina Hill and allowing us to use this beautiful facility, this would not be possible. So thank you again, Commissioner.
With Ruth and the Paramore community. So I want to take this time to give her the opportunity to come up and address you all this evening. Without further ado, Commissioner Regina Hill.
It looked like they had a piece of pie, a 10-inch roast. You know, and then come back to support the underclass of this organization. Congratulations, seniors, that's getting ready to go off and do great things. You know, you've done more, you understand team, you understand leadership, and I know the men that have been around you and your peers have supported you, and I know you're going to do well. But follow the lead of the upperclassmen that left. Come back and keep pouring back into the organization that's poured so much into you all. So I'm just, with that, I'm just thankful to be here once again, because I think this is our first year back post-COVID, right? And just for the families, and you young men that have gone through what you've gone through, like, I don't think in 100 years, no class, like the senior class, who have gone through what we call COVID or pandemic in this lifetime. And for you all to stick to it, to continue to excel in your academics, to continue to excel in athletics, and just do it on a higher level, that's to be commended. And you also, parents, by continuing to support your kids. We're living in trying times, especially when it comes for young men, right? Some of them, great kids, going through a lot of trauma, making poor decisions. It saddens me, because basketball also is near and dear to me. I grew up in Paraguay, and the only thing that I felt at that time valued in my life or made me feel good was going on the basketball court and playing ball. Because I wasn't, you know, the finest chick in high school. I wasn't the cutest one. My hair was a net. I remember a guy laughing at me because that's when they first came out with a perm. And my hair came out, all in the back, and I had some in the front, and they called me Shaggy in the front. But you know, when I got on the basketball court with those boys, I made it wear. I made it wear. And that was something that I had no self-esteem. I was one of the best on the court, and that made me start feeling like I was somebody, like I had value, like I could do greater things. So I know what basketball brings and the enjoyment, but it also helped me get to college. It helped me with my academics and going to the next level. I didn't graduate college, I went on to the military. But what I learned, the friends that I met along the way, how to get along with people, what I learned on those courts sticks with me right here to City Hall, because what I do is not a individual sport. It's a team sport when you're trying to take care of the city. Working with the mayor, working with the great council. You do that together when you move the needle forward. So I want you to know this is more than a sport. This is really preparing you for your life stages, for your life. Because wherever you go, you're going to have to work with someone. In order to do it great, as you know, you're going to have to be a team player. Work is not done in a silo. So I'll see you at the top. I'm always here, and congratulations again, Coach Dan and the board for another successful year. We're sending kids to college. That's the key. Not winning games, but winning a game called life through academics. Thank you.
One more time for Commissioner McGinnis.
And Eric Mays, y'all know that TikTok, Eric Mays. Well, no, he's a TikToker, but he's a politician. I want to tell you, always say the point of order. So I'm going to take a point of order to where can Natalie and Sophie, no, that's Marley, stand up for a moment. So something that happened about 3 or 4 years ago was a huge house fire. And there's a whole apartment complex on the west side of Orlando where the average median income in those families is under $12,000. a year. So they were burned out in apartments and a week before Christmas. And now their daughters and board and tax and their many partners came to the west side of Rotunda and gave hope and refuge to those families, about 13 families. And those children that would not have had Christmas, that were very, very, very destitute. Many other families on welfare, food stamps, and public assistance had lost it all. And they raised about $25,000. The St. Mary Magdalene School where the young ladies go came together around almost 2 years old of toys and clothing, different essentials for the family, to where it seemed like it was just but what it did is show that community that somebody outside of that community, and most people didn't look like them, came back to help them with sweat equity and resources. And I tell you, it was just a moment that it melted my heart. I shedded a few tears just to see the love on that day. And then we continued it on, now going on our 4th year. But with that, a spark happened. And that spark was these children, many of them from private schools and wealthy communities and influential parents, saw some other kids that they wanted to help. And they kept coming back and they kept coming back. And because of those efforts, and because those children wanted to help other kids, that many didn't look like them, and people, even in the neighborhood, might walk by and thought that there was no hope. These young ladies led the way. And because of that, I said, I have something that's called the Youth Advisory Board that helped me put youth policies together, helped me with peer mentoring. They follow a board, like many board members here, Robert's Rules of Order. They get access with a badge to City Hall. They hold their meetings here, and they also have their own emails and business cards with the city logo. And they go throughout the city representing District 5 and trying to create STEM programs and tutoring programs for children on the west side of I-4. And Natalie and Maddie and her sister, they're getting ready to reactivate that board that has been, I would say, for lack of better words, just dead, dormant, right? And so now they're bringing those same youth together now to reactivate that District 5 Youth Advisory Board that will bring policies and initiatives to myself and me to deliver to the mayor of Orlando, Mayor God, to put in place to transform the youth programs, especially in District 5, but throughout the city of Orlando. Because of that spark 4 years ago, and them going in and wanting to come back and do greater work. So I just wanted to announce that here. Thank you all. Chairman of the board, I've already elected the chairman of the board, and they will announce who their board members will be as we bring these kids together. And if you are here in Orlando and you are anywhere from 7th grade to 12th grade, you can also join the board. Doesn't matter if you're a city resident or a county resident of anywhere, as long as you're in that age group, or you're in college. We do have some college students that was part of the board member, and you want to serve on this board, helping to transform youth lives here in the city of Orlando. And you get your great scholars community service hours.
Now let's give it up for the youth. I mean, that's fantastic, right? And that's what this evening is all about, the youth and getting involved and making sure that leave a lasting legacy. That is so incredibly important. All right, so now I'm going to get to the part of the program that we have been waiting for. The reason why we're all here, of course, we want to talk a little bit about our seniors. And we want to talk a little bit about the awards that we're going to give to them tonight. And to help us do that, I want to bring up Coach Dan Cross. And Coach, talk to us a little bit about some of these players. We want to go through the list here.
For sure. So as we get ready for acknowledgement, if the players and their parents could proceed to the back, I would greatly appreciate that. I'm also going to put somebody on the spot, two young men and their parents. So if Alex and Austin, if you don't mind, as well as Uncle Chuck and Auntie Joy, going to the back, okay, I would greatly appreciate that. So the reason that we're all here tonight is to, again, to acknowledge our graduating seniors. What they do not know is what all that they will be receiving for this evening. And so while I acknowledge and celebrate our board members, there's a screen over here that has a total of, I think it just went up, of a little bit, $16,411. At the time, our goal was $15,000 that we were to raise, that we agreed to raise. It's our first time doing this. Brad Sparrow and Melody Robinson were the lead in that, and I would like to acknowledge our board by allowing us and helping us with your help, friends and family, to achieve that goal. So if we can just give all of us a round of applause for achieving that goal. It's quite remarkable for a very small grassroots foundation to be able to raise this kind of funding to go towards young men in the back that, for those that may not know, most in the public school system, they have to give access to computers to the public school system, which means as they go off to college, most are in need of laptops and a little bit of seed money. So what each and every one of you that are standing, mom and dad, what your sons will be receiving is a laptop to go off to college of their choice. What they will also be receiving is $1,200 to also books, dorm room. We understand as parents that every little bit helps, so this is our way of saying thank you. This is my way of saying thank you to young men who have dedicated a season, their life, for a sport that I identify with, that I recognize, that I honor and celebrate, that has gotten me a long way. It's got me out of trouble. It's kept me out of trouble. It's kept me on the straight and narrow. It's gotten me out of an area of Illinois that it just got me out of some rough times. So this game of basketball has allowed me to see life. It has allowed me to see the world. I've lived in 10 different countries. Accomplished some things that for most it may take athletes a lifetime to accomplish. So this is my way of giving back to you, of giving back to the game, of giving back to parents. My mom and dad raised 5 kids. I'm the oldest of 5. I know what it takes. I know the sacrifice that comes along with this goal of trying to get your kids where they want to be. So allow me to say thank you to each and every one of you, to our former parents and players who will come back as well, to our guests that are here as well. So I want to start off by this red carpet is here for a reason, right? It's to make you feel special, to make all of us feel special. So as we call your names, I would like for not only each player but their parents to come up. First, we will start with Isaiah Cooper. If you don't mind welcoming them. You got your mom, Sarah, and Claudia, also. Y'all got that DJ too. You give me a little more, please. Go ahead and turn that over. Congratulations, young man. Congratulations, Mom. We got some questions that we want to ask the one and only Mr. Curtis. So we're going to start out with, we'll probably start out with Mom first, and then we'll go from there.
First of all, what a year. Congratulations. I'm going to start with you. Talk to me a little bit about what's been the most enjoyable part of your son being part of Athlete Connections this year.
I guess the most exciting part for me was going to Atlanta because I never really been there to be there with the team, and I just love cheering them on. So that's it. Amen.
Awesome. All right. I want to ask you, we weren't there, we want to know, what was the most, probably, thing that stuck out to you the most? Like, maybe it was funny, maybe it was a joke. Enjoying Coach, when you were traveling with Coach. Tell us a little about a time that stuck out the most to you when you were, maybe it was a funny one.
The funniest time with Coach and the team was like riding the bus and us just freestyling and just going crazy on the bus.
You freestyle. I won't put you on the spot. All right, Dad, tell me. Oh, your brother, okay. Brother, tell me a little bit about tell me something that from the beginning, it started off, maybe you had adversity. Tell me how much you changed from the beginning to this point.
Well, words can't really describe how much has changed in the growing over the years. I'm just super proud of him. I'm super proud of his accomplishments, everything he's done. This is a moment that he'll never forget. See all the love and support, and just know that one that he's loved and he's cherished. Does my heart and my family good.
Thank you all for All right, Coach, who we got next?
Next, we have T.J. Jefferson and his mom and dad. If you kind of walk in, we're going to walk down to the music. Mr. Jefferson and Miss Elizabeth Jefferson, please give a round of applause for raising such a fine young man. Went to Edgewater this year, played on the varsity team, has been very influential to our travel team this year. I'll say this, that even though he's small, I would consider small for my position as also another point guard. A very big guard. He does not play like his size. Very quick. One of the quickest players that I've been able to coach for a while. I see where you get a lot of your personality, a lot of your character. It does not fall far from the tree. Dad's work ethic does not fall far from the tree. So may I continue to encourage you both as you have to grow up, have to leave the nest, right? A lot of things that we discussed, but I'm wishing you all the best on your next journey, okay? Please give TJ a round of applause.
We're going to start with Mom, ladies first. So, Mom, talk to me a little bit about how you're feeling right now and what this moment means to you to see your son make it to win this Berlin scene.
It's very overwhelming. We worked very hard with this young man.
Okay.
He's our firstborn, so he's the oldest out of 3. But yeah, just putting a lot of time and effort with him when it comes to his studies. He puts a lot of hard work and work effort into his basketball. And, just want to see him continue to grow and succeed in life.
Awesome. I can tell you're right. What did you get out of this experience working with the team, working with Coach Carl?
I can say it helped me improve leadership skills, going to Atlanta with the team and building that team chemistry with each other. Yeah, I can say that helped me a lot. Because in high school, I wasn't really that big of a leader, and then joining this organization again, and them teaching me a lot of things, and helping me be a better point guard and a leader of the team. I can say that helped me.
I gotta point out that obviously it's like copy paste, like geez, exactly right. So Dad, talk to me a little bit, seeing everything that your son went through over the years and just throughout even just this year, talk to me a little bit about what it means to you to see him make it to this point, and talk a little bit about what it took to get there.
What it took to get here, hard work and dedication, definitely. Academically, him, the studying, his mom definitely on his neck, like with her foot on his neck, keeping up with him in regards to the books. You don't know how hard it is until you actually, get to the moment, the actual moment. For me, I went through it, so when I'm watching him go through it, it's definitely like what you said. Right in the middle of it. But just happy, and when I say happy, to be at this particular point, because 4 years at the school he was at, we didn't have this. So the universe is telling us something or bringing us here. All those 4 years equated to this moment standing in front of you guys. And I thank God definitely.
Thank you. Congratulations. Once again. He held on tight to the gift, right? Yes, he held on tight to the gift. All right, Coach.
And I forgot to mention, TJ said that his grade point average was a 4.5. Wow. So I just want to make sure that okay, next all the way, it's coming from Tallahassee. Another one of my point guards. Very proud of him. Graduated. We have Kai Brown and his mom Sean. He's coming down. How he walks, how he plays. How he walks, how he plays, and how he dresses. Not a sweat. So for Kai, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Curtis. We're going to start off by asking Mom first. Mom has been, I'm just going to say this. So anytime a mom dedicates her time, this goes for all moms and dads and grandparents. And dedicating your time, coming to practice from Tallahassee, if anyone has ever driven from Tallahassee, that's not an easy drive. When you drive from Gainesville, it's not an easy drive. Ocala's not an easy drive. But this is one of our parents who probably drove the furthest to make sure that their son had an opportunity to come here to Orlando to be talking about the coach, I like to say. So just want to acknowledge you, Mom, for all of our work.
So this question I asked everybody probably say, why you didn't ask that, but I'm gonna ask you, Mom, as a father, myself, I know that we go through trials and tribulations, a number of things for our kids and everything. We put in a lot of work. Coach just said we put in a lot of work to see him reach this point. What's the word?
sport worker with a coach. Talk a little bit about the most pivotal moment you had experienced.
Coach.
5:30 p.m. run, made us down. 30 seconds to get breakfast. So I want to say that moment, like you just come in and spend time, good team early.
You want to value the lesson.
So, since we got just two, I just want to ask you another question for you. You know, what is one thing that you said you learned time management? What's another thing that you learned and you felt that this program, coach, the teams taught you?
I say confidence. Like before I came to play with Game Speed, I wasn't really that confident in my game until I met Coach Dan, and he put it in me that I was a good point guard. So, yeah.
Congratulations. Thank you.
So, we'll award you with your gift. I also must mention that, Makai went to Robert Monroe in Tallahassee High School. He was on the National Society of High School Scholars, a distinguished young gentleman of America, volunteered in the Boys and Girls Club, Big Ben, and just a fine young man. So we are wishing you all a dual athlete, football and basketball, as a lot of Florida athletes are here. But I want to wish you all the best, young man. This is our gift to you, or should I give it to Mom? I know I will, so just want to make sure that it goes where you should. Randall Robinson. Mr. Rich Robinson. National Conference Finals. Went to 3K accepted to the University of North Florida. Intern with the state attorney's office. And I tell you, if you can intern with the state attorney's office, imagine what the bus ride was like each and every time he's in the bus. There's always a debate, could lead to an argument, but there will be a conversation that will be had if Randall is in the room. So, congratulations to Mom. Congratulations, Randall. Congratulations, Mr. Robinson. We have a question that we want to ask you.
All right. As Coach said, congratulations. Such an honor. Talk to your mom a little bit. What does this mean for you? Not just your young son, but your entire family.
Randall is the baby of 4. So he has 2 older brothers. I don't know if a lot of you know this, but Randall's not married. He falls asleep all the time. So for him to have done this, for him to do what my other kids did, because I don't set sleep in the house. So Randall has a hard time with class. Randall falls asleep in class. So it takes him extra. He falls asleep, so whatever it is that they assign, he also has to go back and understand what they say. So this has been difficult for him. He was the first one out of my 4, to want to go to public school. My other 3 all went to Catholic and graduated from St. Francis Catholic. Randall decided he wanted to go to public. So this means a lot to me that he did this, even on the court. It's just difficult. A lot of people don't know it's very difficult for Randall. He's clingy, he is my baby, he holds, kiss. He has to go through a lot to stay up, so for me to trust him, Coach Dan is a great coach. He has been wonderful for Randall. So I can go on and on, I'm gonna let the mic go, because this really means a lot to me for him to be on this team. I think Coach Dan, I've had many coaches because he's the 3rd boy, so I think I counted 11 coaches. And by far, Coach Dan has been the best.
I want to ask you,
Talk to me a little bit about your experience on the team, your experience growing that bond, your experience working with Coach Dan.
I think the main thing is this organization, it's a business, but it's not a business. So like, majority of the AAU teams, if you guys have played AAU, it's a business. They're all about how you produce in the court. They don't really care about what's going on outside of AAU basketball. But this organization does. We form bonds, we network. Teammates that I had last year that I hadn't seen in a minute, you just called me the other day, so it's all about those bonds you create.
Now, you have watched him, throughout his experience with Can you talk to me a little about what you've seen and how it feels for you being here this moment right now?
I think this has been a great confidence builder for Randall, and also been a great confidence builder for me in my life. To trust Coach Dan to take our kid off on the weekend and allow him. And I always tell Coach Dan, I say, do what you need to do when y'all away. He belongs to you. If you need to tighten his head up, tighten his head up. He said, I don't have to do it, Mr. Morris. He'll be okay. So, to be part of this organization has been a great experience. As my wife said earlier, we done had many coaches. High school, middle school. But Coach Dan, he's been good. He's really been good. And I pray to God in the next few years, this organization continues to grow and grow and grow. And maybe one day, I'll be on the board and I'll be able to thank you for everything you've done for Randall. And we pray God's speed on you and your organization.
Congratulations. So they're taking a picture, and I just gotta say that everybody's saying all this nice stuff about Coach Dan and everything he's doing on the team now. This is awesome.
Hold on, before y'all go somewhere. I need to say this about Randall. I can't let this go. So I forgot all about Randall and his narcolepsy. So we on the bus, this is a quick story. We on the bus in Atlanta. And I can see everybody through the river. It's always a 15-passenger van. And I'm talking to Randall. As a matter of fact, I was probably upset with Randall after the game. So I'm on Randall like I am most of the players. And I'm talking for about a minute. And I look through the mirror and I see his head slouched to the side. And he's asleep. And like the one thing that my players already know, like the disrespect, I do not deal with that well at all. So before I knew that, and Eli had to tell me that Coach Dan, you can't get mad at him. He falls asleep like this all the time. I always get him to go ham. I'm just gonna go ham on Randy. I was gonna put a bus to the side and let him have it. And I found out that the young man just fell asleep, on any kind of occasion. And that's when I started to learn about, like, it's a real problem, right? And then I think it runs in the families. I didn't know it was genetics involved. And so I just had to tell that story, young fella. Like, don't try not to fall asleep on me too many more times, but if you do, I understand. So congratulations again to you all. Next, we have Eli Harris. Please give Eli a round of applause. Mom and Dad, Brandon and Michelle Harris. PK Young High School. 3.78 unweighted, 4.07 unweighted GPA. He attended South Florida, University of South Florida in the fall. lot of accolades on here that I could read off. There's two that stick out. One is on here, the other one that sticks out the most. One is anybody that knows Melvin Law at the University of Florida. He's received the Scholar Athlete of the Week, and so it is not easy to receive any kind of scholar award, at least in my world. So I want to acknowledge you first for all the hard work that you've put in with your academics, right? What is not on here is like all these young men are very fine young men. They're respectful, which it represents their parents. They already know, Brandon, what happened when you don't listen? Like when y'all don't listen to me, what y'all doing? When y'all miss layups, when y'all, what you doing? How many push-ups y'all doing? Yeah, they start out with 10, right? So they already understand the respect that I ask for and request. But to mom and dad, I've said it before, I just want to say it again, you've done a tremendous job in raising a fine young man. Yes. Yes, I was sharing with one of my board members earlier, so they live in Ocala. So since kindergarten, Ocala and Gainesville is probably a 30-minute drive, 40-minute drive. Since kindergarten, they did not want to send their child to a school in Ocala. So since kindergarten, he has been driving from Ocala to Gainesville to go to school for, what's that, 12 years, 13 years? 13 years. And so the commitment that comes behind that, it does not go unnoticed. You're being rewarded with the next journey of life as parents. You're being rewarded as a young man that's done tremendous things, but you have a bright future ahead of you, as do the rest of your teammates. So I just wanted to acknowledge both of you, mom and dad, acknowledge you, Eli, for the bright future that you have ahead of you. And we're going to end with Mr. Curtis, all right?
All right. Mom, you look nervous. What's wrong? Mom, well, I have a question for you. Talk to me a little bit about everything that you've seen as far as his, his will, his drive, everything he's put into this experience in his life. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Elijah is the youngest of three, and I will say, of the three, we have watched him evolve into the young man he is today. And he's been so blessed to have so many people who have sown into his life and been examples for him. But one of the things I will say about him, he's a very driven young man, very focused. He has a routine that he follows consistently. And it is amazing to have watched him go from that child where you're like, would you please do da-da-da-da-da-da, oh my gosh, to we don't have to say anything. So literally, he has just taken the initiative to create the habits and develop those routines that he needs that will help him be successful in life. And being around Coach Dan, who becomes Uncle Dan, and just having those individuals who really hold him accountable has really helped shape him to who he is now. So we're just really proud of him. Because being the third, you all can imagine TJ's mom, that first one, the second one, it gets easier. I think he's watched his sisters just be very driven and focused on their endeavors, and it's helped him just to realize he doesn't want, I'm going to say this, doesn't want me to say anything or his daddy to say anything. That's not necessary, just rather just do what he needs to do so that there can be peace in his life. Because otherwise it will be on and popping. The Louisiana crazy would come out, right? Okay. So that is what we've seen.
All right. Thank you, Mom. Thank you so much. All right. All right, talk to me a little bit about, your mom talked a little bit about you. She described kind of, a lot of characteristics about yourself. What your mom said, is that who you are?
Yes. Both of them have helped me grow into a better person. I've learned to wake up every morning and be on a routine where I can keep daily. That's helped me a lot. My ninth grade year, I was struggling in school. I ain't gonna lie, I was bad. That was during COVID. But being with my sisters, it allowed me to watch them and see how they did it. And so I brought that into my schedule. And like since then, I've been able to have straight A's, and it's just been easy. So yeah.
It's all about the routine. It's all about the routine. All right, Dad, you know, watching your son go through the motions, go through ups, downs, you know, talk to me a little bit about, from your vantage point, what you saw.
Just a journey. Early on, you know, Elijah really struggled with self-confidence. You know, in this age, social media, you know, everything is be like someone else, emulate this person, that person. And so we had just many talks about being who God created you to be and being comfortable with who you are. And so over the years, you know, he's really just, you know, created his own track and walked in, you know, in who he is and how he impacts everyone that he comes into contact with. And it's just been amazing to watch the maturation process. So as a father, you know, educators, also to see your son pour back into the next generation as we've done, as he's watched us all these years, it's awesome. You know, matter of fact, you know, my younger daughter out there, as well as my oldest, you know, I think they fought us, that, you know, we didn't push them, you know, didn't think they would want to be in the education field, and now they are giving back. And so he's just following in that same mold, and so we couldn't be happier as parents. You know, when you've emulated but not pushed, and they follow the tracks and understand the value of servanthood, you know, that means everything. So I'm excited for him, for his future. Thankful to Coach Dan, this organization. We knew of Dan when we were in school at UF during the same time frame, but never really crossing paths, but just had an opportunity to get to know him, understand that he could be that father figure. We had have the same values as far as building the whole man. You know, it's one thing on the court, but preparing for life. That's what it means the most. And so, you know, God bless you, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Thank you all. Congratulations. Mr. and Ms. Harris, we allow a round of applause. This family comes near and dear to my heart. Austin and Alex Andrews, who played with me for 4 years. 4 years. I first met them with their Uncle Chuck and Auntie Joy. When they came here from Detroit, when they moved here from Detroit, not by choice, but their mother had deceased, their father had deceased within a matter of 1 or 2 years. Their Uncle Chuck decided, and Auntie Joy decided to take over the responsibilities of a deceased sister. And I was introduced to 2 twins who had a third brother, an older brother, sitting down right now. And so I made a promise to them, I made a promise to their mother and father in heaven that I would do my best to make sure that they accomplish their dreams and their goals, to get to college, to receive an education, a quality education. So I wanted to not only acknowledge them, but bring them up along with Auntie Joy and Uncle Chuck, just to give your experience of what it's been like to be in college as we close and as we end this 4th annual band. Auntie Joy, Uncle Chuck, please come up. I would greatly appreciate that. Congratulations, young men. Both 6'9", 6'10", young men. I will explain briefly. Austin had been attending Illinois State for the last 3 years on scholarship. Austin, sometimes I get them mixed up. Austin has been attending Illinois State for the last 3 years. Alex has been attending FAMU for the last, so I see we got some rallies in the house. Go ahead and get yep, that's what I know. Got 2 of them. Yeah, got 2 rallies in the house. So I just wanted to allow, Mr. Curtis, come on, man, we gotta know both of us. What have your experiences been like, and what advice first can you give to this graduating senior class as they prepare to go off to college?
I would say you guys just gotta hold yourself accountable. You guys go to your next step, because nobody gonna be back like your parents or things like that. So time manage, hold yourself accountable for sure.
Alex, yes, please. Alex, I'm curious of what's been the journey like since you've been in college, and what is the difference between high school and college? What are some of the major differences that you can share?
Second question. The coach there presented me, I was probably like a 5'9", 130-pound kid, so a lot of growth that came into this, and through high school he taught me what it takes to work hard and what not just say to be great, but to really go and do it and to put in the extra hours, get 100 shots up a day. So with that going on, then we're going again to college, and like Austin was said, sometimes everybody's working, but they don't tell you to go do it, go do that. So it's really on you to push yourself every day and do the best you can.
Tell us a little bit about your take, your experience, compare from when they were going through Athlete Connections program here and also their experiences now.
Well, good evening. It's always a pleasure to come to these events and see our young men continue to grow and prosper. I would say that the biggest change from high school to college is all of the tools that Uncle Dan, Uncle Kurt actually, has given to our boys that we don't even have to tell them to do. I do recall day one, I didn't know anything about basketball, but now as everyone knows, I'm the loudest one there. But my purpose was to make sure that my boys became men. My purpose was to make sure that their social, emotional self as well as their academics thrive. And so, I gave Dan the side eye, to tell the truth. But this process has been so instrumental, so influential, that it's even transcended through their college careers. I love the fact that my boys call Dan before sometimes they even talk to Uncle Chuck and Auntie Joy. That says a lot when your children grow up and they have those strong adults in their life and ones that that can give them sound counsel that they will go to. And for that, I greatly appreciate all that Dan has done for our boys and our family even. He's always been there and nothing ever changed. The same Dan as on day one, it's the same Dan right now. And that says a lot about a person's character. I don't have to question, I don't have to wonder. I'll be like, Dan, you got it. And I really am for that. And them to continue on into their adulthood.
She said another.
Coach Dan came into our lives, as he said, my twin sister and their parents passed away. We moved them from Detroit. So they started over as ninth graders, moving down here to a new environment. They spent some time in the summers, but no real time. I knew they wouldn't be basketball players. They played in eighth grade back in Detroit. And I didn't know, we don't have kids, so we weren't in that environment. So when I asked my friends, who do I get to train my boys? Who do I get to train? The name came back at the same time every time. Dan Cross, Dan Cross, Dan Cross. Dan and I had a couple of conversations that Dan also pleasantly, but he eventually convinced me that I got him checked, I took care of him. And as I said, he's become family. He's Uncle Kurt, he's family. My mother makes cakes for him, pies, so he's family, and he takes care of his boys. He looks out, he has been at that sounding board. As Joy said, there are times when they call him before they call us. There are times when I call him and say, hey, you talk to your nephews. And it gets a done deal. Athletes in Action, Games League are great programs. Dan's got a great foundation, great team, great board. I encourage everyone to stay connected, keep supporting, and remember that it is part of you. And Dan is just a great guy and a performance great guy. I wish you all luck and the best in your next endeavors, and that you keep achieving, and those that are right to start.
I will say to my graduating seniors that Austin was also part of my 5:30 a.m. run. If you remember a few years ago where you was late, I don't forget that you was up at 5:30 in the morning running with me as well in Atlanta, Georgia. So I mention that also. Alex, with Austin, it was Alex. Okay. So if I can have Scott control our board chair, we can please give our board chair Curtis a round of applause. We greatly appreciate that. If we can also give our MC for the night, Mr. Curtis McLeod, Spectrum 13, a round of applause. We would greatly appreciate that. While we still at it, give a shout out, if we give DJ Chino a round of applause, please, to his sidekick. If we can get a gentleman, as God in us in the land, give him a round of applause, please. Great music. Dexter as well, Commissioner Regina Hill, thank you again. Scott, he's one of my closest friends, means a lot to me, not just because he's a Gator and has swag, Jordan out, but he's a very smart businessman, family man, and I'm proud to call him a friend also. I didn't think of my wildest years that you would want to take over a foundation, chair a foundation, help me move the needle a little bit further than I was moved before. I just want to say thank you for allowing opportunity to not only present itself, but to be a friend outside of business, to learn from you also in business, and again, to help lead this foundation. So I just want to say thank you, man.
I'm about to cry like some of the fathers out there. I just want to walk on that carpet like all the young men. I first want to just acknowledge all the families of the young men that have been up here, and how well spoken is that group of individuals that have been up here. So please give them a round of applause. It's an amazing sign of the families that have been up here. It's an amazing sign of Coach Cross. As a foundation, we spent a lot of time meeting and trying to find ways to raise money and put on different programs. And there's one thing that's a huge piece of what we do as a foundation every day that we carve out and say, Dan, you're in charge of it. We don't know what's going on. And he's taken all these young men and he's taken them and traveling across the country, teaching them basketball, but more importantly, teaching them the life skills that they need to take the next step. And just like I think almost every single parent that's been up here said, you know, once we let our son go with Dan, they could walk away and know that he's in good hands, that he's safe, that he's being taken care of, that he's being taught well. We do the same thing as a board. We say, Dan, you let us know what you need. You let us know who needs what, and we're going to provide for them. And it's an amazing process that trust level that every single piece of the board, every member of the board has with Dan. There's one thing else I've heard, I want to kind of bring up in this board meeting, is, you know, we're kind of known by SCF at the Connections Foundation. But I heard the word family so much tonight. It might be called after the Connections family at some point, because every single person that's been up here has been a family. You know, Alex and Austin, if you guys come back and the way you come back and participate, I challenge all the seniors that have received scholarship awards tonight to do that and be part of that. That's what the board members love. That's what we love to see. They'll come and give it back. You know, we've done toy drives with those young men, University Drive, the commissioner. They've been part of giving gifts out with my daughters and being part of that. And I can't tell you how more than it makes us feel as board members to know that we made an impact enough for you guys to come back and just give us the respect and time that you guys have for what you guys went through. So I challenge all the graduating seniors to be part of that, because you guys are paving the path for the next players. And the kids that are coming from 8th grade or in high school when you guys graduate college, what impact can you make on them? And I think that's an amazing thing that we do every day. I don't want to take too much time tonight. I know we're kind of going fast, but there's a couple things I want to acknowledge. With how we were able to pull off tonight and make the donations and to give the kids the scholarships and computers and to pay it forward, this came from an idea. You know, we're always trying to fundraise. We do a scholarship fundraisers, we do golf tournaments, we do a number of different things. And one of our board members, Brad Sparrow, but he's come up with this software for his endeavors that he's working with, and he came to the board and said, hey, how about we ask all our friends and family and your friends and family if they will support in what we're trying to accomplish. Because a lot of people on the board, we have a great network of people that care about us. And we went out and did that, and you know, we raised, and I'm not even sure what the number is right now, $16,462, and even more impressive, 109 donors. And this was a grassroots effort. This is an organic effort of the board members that you know, started with, hey, how do we participate in Giving Week? And Melanie and Brad were saying, hey, let's try to come up with something. And what we've done is we just organically now ask our friends and family to support the causes that mean something to us. So Brad, I want to thank you for helping with that initiative. Melanie, I want to thank you for the Giving Weeks and planting those seeds. Melanie, you have to see. Sit up and say, we can applaud. Thank you. One of the things we're going to do, you know, we've had a lot of donors, like I said, 109 donors. The basketballs are all assigned to the players and 4 players. Those basketballs are going to go to the top 12 donors to the cause. We have one reserved for Commissioner Hill for being such an amazing advocate of everything that we do. Please give her another round of applause. Person in Orlando. If you follow her on any social media, every single night she's out somewhere giving back to this community, trying to make a positive impact. And she's definitely someone to admire. And you know, when I say the family part, I do want to comment on, you know, how we're trying to raise our kids and impact. It's not just the athletes that are coming through the program, the basketball players coming through the program. It's my daughter, and you know, she's 15 years old, and now she's going to be working with Commissioner Hill and learning ways to give back, and teaching her sister, who's 12 years old, to give back. So it's not just kids that are in the basketball program; it's kids that are involved throughout the program. You know, it's such a blessing to work with good people. It's such a blessing to work with board members. It's such a blessing to work with Dan. I went from a fan in 1994 when he took our U.S. Florida basketball team to the Final Four for the first time ever. was a stud, if you didn't know. Players who didn't know, go back and watch the tape. And he's still a stud, so thank you, Brad. He's just not as fast as he can jump as high. But as Curtis said, you're getting a little old. But actually, I turned 50, I think a month before Dan this year, so we're getting up there in age. But I just want to thank everybody for being a part of that. At this moment, I'd like to take and acknowledge someone, have her come up, Tracy. She was the head of the scholarship committee that helped put this whole thing together. And trust me, we would not be sitting here if it wasn't for her efforts. So I'd like to turn the mic over, and I hope everybody has a blessed evening and drive safe home. But at this point, I'd like to say, Tracy, thank you so much, and here's the mic.
I don't have much to say other than thank you to you all for being here. Thank you to our board members for being so supportive, for helping us come up with the money to be able to support our seniors, not only this year, but now we've done such a great job. We have a head start on next year. Thank you to everyone who participated in that. To our seniors who are graduating, I wish you guys have been doing game speed, now I wish you Godspeed in your next adventures. Families, thank you for being here to support them, allow us to support them. I will just echo everything that's been said about continuing to stay involved, because we're always looking for ways to lift up and encourage young men that are participating. You all get a chance to be a part of that. Thank you to Austin, Alex, and Jancy for coming back and supporting us. Jancy, we need to recognize you, so stand up. It's another one of our So thank you and your mom for always participating. So that's really it. Thank you all very, very much. This was a wonderful event. I've had a big smile on my face all night, being able to celebrate our young men and their families and the things that we're able to do for them. So thank you all.
Thank you, Tracy. To our coaches, I have some of our travel team coaches here. Mr. Adrian, can you please stand, please? Excellent, we got Coach Al over here. Please, Coach Al. That's my team, that's my circle. We get things done. So just wanted to say thank you again. I really appreciate you. Thank you for the support. God bless you all. If I could just echo the same things that I tell my own son and my own daughter. You keep God first before anything. You keep Him first. We always end with a prayer. Take that same prayer with you wherever you go. Wherever you go, you take that prayer with you. You don't need it, I promise you. Even when you don't think you don't need it, I promise you, the first person you're going to call on, this is my instinct. I ain't got to say his name, it's going to be almighty. So you keep Him first. You work hard. Right? You can't be late. Somebody wants your spot, somebody wants your position. The world is not a pretty place to live in at times. Be a leader, not a follower. Again, be a leader, not a follower. Balance your time. Life, school, family, everything else, it'll work itself out, I promise you. But the school comes first. Okay? We got to this point where there's the next season, there's the next journey. I can't be Coach Dan don't become Coach Dan no more. Right? I become a fan. I did everything I was supposed to do. Your parents have done everything that they are supposed to do. Now, I want to see you back up on stage so I can ask you questions as you speak to the next generation coming behind you. So I wish you all the best. Keep up with me. I follow you on social media. I learn everything that's going on social media. You pick up the phone and call me. You text me. All right? So I must say that as we all go our different ways. God bless you all. Curtis, and turn it over to you. Good night.
There's nothing left for me to say. Coach, thank you so much. To our fellow board members, everyone, we appreciate you for coming tonight. As I always say, until next time, May goodness